Alrighty, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing The High Republic Tales of Enlightenment, A Different Perspective, which was written by George Mann and was released on December 6, 2022, in the 215th issue of Star Wars Insider, which I liked it. A lot like the other High Republic Star Wars Insider short stories. It wasn't anything super crazy, but I'd say this one I was more into it than normal. As we see, the character Keth Surpath, who was introduced in the previous Tales of Enlightenment stories. You see him on Jedi's just out and about, and he witnesses a Jedi save the life of this Abedito, who was going to get hit by this speeder bike. But the Abedito is a member of the Path of the Open Hand, which they don't like the Jedi, and so they weren't happy the Jedi saved them, mainly because they used the Force to save them. And so, Keth sees it all go down, and he steps in to help the Abedito out as the Jedi realizes that, the Abedito doesn't want their help. And so Keth takes them to Enlightenment to rest up and have a drink and whatnot, which the Abedito kind of reveals who they are. First, their name, which is Wool, and then, tells Keth that they're a part of the Path of the Open Hand. It kind of tells him all about the path and, why he didn't want the Jedi to save him, which the past whole thing is that, they think the Jedi using the Force is causing bad stuff, which Wool tells Keth a story about his brother named Griel, who was Force sensitive but was able to hide it from the Jedi Order. And I guess back on their home world, they were miners. And then one day in the caves, it caved in, and Griel used the Force to save them. And, after that, Wool talks about how they kind of were celebrating him and his Force powers and whatnot. But then days later, another cave-in happened, killing more people than who would have been killed if Griel hadn't used the Force. And so Wool believes that using the Force to save someone will only cause more harm later, with the same exact event happening, killing people instead, without the help of the Force. And so he wishes the Jedi would have just let him die instead, but Keth doesn't buy into it, into, what Wool is saying and whatnot. And then after their drinks, Wool ends up leaving, which then Keth's friend, Periel, comes in and tells him about this speeder accident which killed 4 people, and that the same speeder almost killed other people earlier if it wasn't for a Jedi saving them, which shocks Keth because it kind of brings some truth to what Wool told him earlier, even though it's, truly just a coincidence. But that's where the story ends. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Obviously, also, I don't think it was anything super duper crazy necessary to read for the whole High Republic picture. And, it kind of resays a lot of stuff, what, about the Path of the Open Hand, kind of what their beliefs are, what has already been said in other stories. But I do think this was a pretty straightforward way of introducing who they are and their beliefs. So I do like that. And, I liked how Wool's story, ends up playing a part in what happens in the present, even though both are just truly coincidences. But, obviously I do like how it kind of challenged, Keth's beliefs also. But, all in all, I liked it. So my grade, I'm going to give it a B. So yeah, but that's going to be it for this one. My next High Republic review will be, I think, issue 3 of the Phase 2 Marvel series. So you can check that out then. But in the meantime, check out my other Phase 2 and Phase 1 videos and everything else I do. But I've been Star Wars Review, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.